Dolphins and the Patriots. This is an interesting one as well. We've seen this one toggle back and forth between 2.5 and 3, 2.5 and 3, 2.5 and 3. We sit right now where it looks like it could be on the way to 3.5. Actually, the Patriots at BetMGM, 3-point favorites, juiced -120 right now. Dolphins, you're getting even money on them at BetMGM, a total of 43. Brad, you and I don't have a bet on this one. I mean, listen, Tua Tagovailoa, the jury is kind of still out on him. Once we got the advanced statistics back from, Pro Football Focus and the next gen stuff and all the things like that at the end of the year, we found out that he had the least amount of window to throw to his wide receiver one and his tight end of any quarterback in the NFL. So they just weren't creating any sort of separation, any sort of space for him. So maybe that had a little bit to do with some stuff. But then you also look and see this Dolphins defense had incredible luck and incredible scoring luck as well, to where they were able to not only, score a ton on the defensive side of the ball, but at least get the offense in very, very short field situations, which of course is not predictive. And certainly we think something that will regress over the course of this season as well. And then we have the big news where they tell Cam Newton to take a hike. They're going to go with Mac Jones there in New England. And honestly, for a rookie quarterback, Brad, I think this is one of the better situations that a guy could possibly step into, with as much as they invested on the offensive and defensive side of the ball, and then just having Bill Belichick as your coach.
I was surprised to see Cam Newton go, because if nothing else, I thought he made sense in week one, because, the way to attack this Dolphins defense is on the ground. They've got one of the best secondaries in the league, but they're a little bit lightweight, and they like to throw blitzes at you, so they can be run on, which is what the Patriots did on them week one last year, I think it was. So I thought they would play Cam, but I'm guessing the game plan is not going to change too much. It's not like they're going to come out and ask Mac Jones to sling it around. I would assume it'd be run heavy, and then go after these Dolphins with the two tight ends they signed, which again is probably a good way to attack the Dolphins, because they are strong at corner rather than linebacker. I think, again, there's another mismatch on the other side of the ball. The Dolphins' offensive line, 29th in Pro Football Focus's offensive line rankings, and sort of seen as a bottom five unit among the sharp guys, among the trench experts. And then, as you said, Matt, the amount of money reinvested into this Patriots defense, that they were talentless last year. They were awful at linebacker everywhere, but so those guys have come back. Carl Van Noy's back in there. Hightower back in at linebacker. They paid some money to Matt Judon, who's he's a very good pass rusher. And obviously Belichick is he's the defensive master. So I just don't really see the Dolphins protecting that well. And so I'll probably like the under, because as I say, I think the Patriots will run the ball. I think they will be all over Tua in his front pocket all day, and obviously that Patriots crowd is going to be a bit nuts. I think the under is worth a look.
Yeah, that is actually the only thing that I have considered and might still end up pulling the trigger on. 43.5 as we sit right now on that one. And it was a pretty good lean to me that I just didn't quite get on. But as you mean, Judon, Van Noy, Godshaw, Jalen Mills, the Henry Anderson. I mean, like there are tons of guys. They draft Christian Barmore with their second round pick. I mean, there is a lot that they did on the defensive side of the ball. And then again, a couple of safety blankets there in Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith for a rookie quarterback, I think is a pretty good situation to step into. Steven, you are, in fact, on the Patriots side here. You got it at a better number. You got it at the 2.5. And like I said, this thing was ping-ponging back and forth for the longest time. Now it looks like people are agreeing with you, because it looks like this thing could be on the move to 3.5 even. What did you like about the Patriots when you made the bet?
I see this game very similarly to the way Brad saw the Falcons-Eagles game. I think there is a complete mismatch in the trenches here. I think the Patriots offensive line has a huge advantage against the Miami front seven, and I think that the Miami offensive line is at a huge disadvantage to the Patriots front seven. So I also look at, this is a carbon copy of the week one game a year ago, Dolphins at Patriots. We had that same situation. Now, the Patriots had a huge track record of success. They didn't have that season that they just had to bake that in. But they they closed that week 1 game a year ago as 7-point favorites at home against the Dolphins. So now they're at 2.5. And I would argue that this Patriots roster is night and day better than it was for that week 1 game a year ago. And I would argue that the Miami Dolphins offensive situation, despite the fact that they had some wide receiver upgrades, their quarterback situation, I think, is an even bigger question mark now going into this season than it was with the stability of Ryan Fitzpatrick a year ago. So combine all those things, I think 2.5, 3 is just a wrong number. I would be okay playing it at 3 to get the potential push equity there. I would shy away if it gets to 3.5, but that's kind of where I'm at. I think in the trenches, this is a really plus matchup for the Patriots.
Yeah, definite lean to the Patriots, definite lean to the under for me. Not in the account quite yet, but that could happen. That could happen on both of those, actually.